Go live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Motor City Metrics podcast here at TigersMLReport.com. I am Rogelio Castillo. Alongside me is Uper, Ashley, and Chris. Mike has the net off as he is hosting Euchre, and I will be here for just a little bit as the Tigers came back in tremendous fashion, winning 10-9 in a game that they had a 7% chance of winning with 2 outs. I love when Sarah Langs does the wee. The roller coaster thing. But it was a very good victory. The Tigers finished a perfect homestand before they take on a 3-game series in Boston starting tomorrow. So that was a great game. Riley Greene went 3 for 4. Cole Keefe had the game-winning hit. There was a lot of just here we go. A week ago, you guys, I'm saying I was watching last week, and the tone has already been completely different. The sky's not falling, is it?
Last week, everything was morose. We were sullen, beaten down by the world, and it all turns around in a week with a bombshell signing and a 6-game. It turns out there's no problems that a 6-game winning streak can't really fix.
Yeah.
I think, what did I say last week? Looking at my notes from last week, I said they had an 8-game winning streak last year and at one point went 11-4 during a 15-game stretch. 2 weeks of good baseball. We're right where we need to be. I feel like we've had, 6 good games, and now we kind of feel like we're kind of right where we need to be. I mean, as long as we keep going on this trajectory.
Yeah, today was a perfect example of a game earlier in the year. Basically, the second game in Arizona was like this, but they lost. They blew it and they lost. And today they came back and won, kept a win streak going. And we're seeing a lot of good stuff now. A lot of good starting pitching, even with all the runs today. I mean, that was largely. I think Hinch maybe was trying to push it a little bit with Montero. Just his pitch count wasn't too high, but he was just hoping to get another inning or two, probably just one more inning, because I don't think Jansen and Finnegan were available today. Maybe Finnegan, but nice, fun baseball, and seeing just about everybody contribute is always good.
I feel like Montero's command has looked better too. I feel like he's getting ahead in counts kind of more so than he was, just comparing him to last season. And I haven't really looked up any stats on this, but just kind of like the eye test. And I feel like he's actually executing in 3-2 counts, whereas he wasn't really doing that last year. Or he would walk a lot more people, whereas this year it seems like he's actually executing, which is good.
He looks really confident. He's to me, it looks like he's working faster. And is that a confidence thing? I don't know, but very impressive. I also was a little surprised he saw the 7th inning because they were getting through the third time through that order, and he got into a little trouble. These things happen. It wasn't all his fault. The bullpen's got to do a better job. Drew Anderson just didn't have it. Of course, he had the dump problem.
Yeah, the umpire. Yeah.
Oh wait, was that? Wait, hold on a second. Was that? Hold on.
For your team. That was the best dump of my career.
Yes.
This will always be known as the dump game in my mind.
Is that what happened? Because Dave Dickerson was very, very diplomatic about what happened. So and there's somebody said there was some. There was wait, hold on.
Yeah, there are 2 things that can happen when you have a stomach bug, right?
Outside, come around. Who's that? Brown.
Yes, that could be one of them. The other one is coming out the other way.
Yeah, he was either puking or the other one. That was about it.
Yeah, maybe both. Maybe both. I mean,
maybe both. Sure.
Kudos for him for trying to gut it out, I guess. But that's a very strange delay. That happened twice in the game, right? Like one was.
Yeah.
So
folks, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th.
No, wait, let's see.
Oh man, the way Vasquez is going, Mama better make some more of that moist cake.
Go through all the drops now at this point. Yeah.
Well, it's finally because the drops all make sense now.
Yeah.
Finally able to use it. Sorry, go ahead.
But the bullpen, that was a tough one. Like there was a lot of second guessing for anybody there, right? Like why did Montero stay in for one? Was it one batter too long, 2 batters too long? Why was it Drew Anderson and not DeJesus? You had a bunch of lefties coming up. Why?
Mega doo-doo.
Yes, DD mega doo-doo. Yeah, but nice to see them come back. Right after that inning, Kevin McGonigal leads off with a triple, right? Nope, we're going to get right back to this. And then, and then the awesome rally in the ninth. It was that's a fun way to do it. You toy with the other team's emotions and you come back and steal it from them at the very end.
No, Montero, by the way, he has his fastball velocity was in the 95, 96 into the fifth inning, which is important to mention. But it's the fact that he's throwing his changeup more. So actually, you talk about the confidence thing. I did ask him about that. He's trying to set up his changeup more. And he does have more faith in it. I asked him on Saturday about that, which is especially because I don't want to say he was a 2-pitch pitcher. I mean, the slider's been really good. But when you sequence like the way he was today, I thought that he did a very good job, especially against a lineup that was, Bobby Witt Jr. could literally he could hit anything. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just he's a very aggressive, a patient but aggressive team. And he was able to out sequence them quite a bit there. And I know, Chris, you're mentioning that maybe Hinch left them out too long, but the one thing is certain, he is definitely a starter. He has a starter's arsenal. The velocity held up, and that's a very good sign.
Yeah, and I think Ashley touched on this, but he's throwing strikes. He's throwing strikes right now. It's 2 walks on the year right now. I think out of how many innings?
12,
17, something like that. I mean, he's got 3 starts now. So he's throwing strikes with stuff he's confident in, and he's executing. And yeah, it makes it not such a big deal that Justin Verlander was just okay in his bullpen session, according to DJ Hinch. It wasn't a setback, but it wasn't great either. So I don't know. Just keep trotting Montero out there, and that's fine for now, right? And he stopped the losing skid, and now he's keeping the winning streak going. So good on him. Although he did not get the win today, but whatever.
I feel like the bullpen has less walks. It seems like the last time we talked that I think that they had 15 walks in 16 innings or something. And I think the last 16 or something innings, they've had 6 earned runs and 4 walks. As opposed to, I don't remember how many earned runs they had last time, but I know it was 15 walks in 16 innings was yikes. But looking a lot better.
So yeah,
I think Drew Anderson will get several more chances. I'm not that worried about it. Gave up 1 soft hit in there today. He's not going to be a shutdown reliever, but I think he's going to be a guy who can get them a couple innings now when they need it. He's definitely the back end of the bullpen, and that's okay. You got to have one of those. So he's had a couple of good outings, I think, and he started becoming the boogeyman to Tiger's Twitter. There's no question. He's the guy who's getting thumped on harder, but that happens every year with somebody, and he just happened to draw the short straw.
Yeah, and it's everybody. You got this fun team full of exciting young players. Made the playoffs the last 2 years. They're spending money on free agents now, and everybody just wants to yell about because the GM tried to find an interesting player from Korea and spent some money on it, and they're just you can never make anybody happy. So that is a good point. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He looks so great in spring training, but obviously none of that matters. But yeah, he had a 3+ inning save the other day. Just hasn't executed when they need him to. But then it was Holton. Holton came in and got ahead of Salprez 0-2, and at bat ended up going 10 pitches, and he gave up a home run. This is another guy that you count on. You hope that he could get out of that too. So it takes a lot. It's a full team effort to blow a 5-run lead, and a full team effort to come back and win.
Well, you mentioned McGonigal's triple, and that inning, I really thought they were going to get the lead or tie the game or get the lead in that inning. Casey made another great play out in the outfield. Also Colt Keith did not challenge a couple pitches that, I'm not saying you should know that in your mind, but you should know the situation is late in the game. You can't take the challenges home with you. So you might as well use them in those situations. That rally fizzled in the 8th. And it's oh boy, this might not go well against Ursig, but obviously they had it in them.
Yeah, the dreaded rally killing sack fly from Kerry Carpenter.
I understand what you're saying about the challenges for sure, but I will say those did look right at the knees. like when they show them on the screen, like obviously we can see the little strike zone that's there, but like the players can't see that. And I feel like it probably looked like it was right at the knees, to be fair to Cole Keith.
Yes, they were relatively close. One of them was extremely close. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But I guess where I'm going is that point in the game, you're in the eighth inning, you're behind.
You can be a little riskier with the challenges. Yeah.
If it's that close, you might as well take your shot.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It's okay.
I feel like they're still probably learning the challenge system too.
No question.
Yeah, it seems like some players are a little bit more comfortable. It seems like McGonigal is getting very comfortable challenging pitches. I think he's also comfortable with his knowledge of the strike zone. But it also, he had the challenge system was available for him, I think, in low A, so he's used it before.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and other players just don't seem to be into it. I don't know. It takes all kinds.
A new thing. I wonder if they're. I mean, it seems like most of them are making more of kind of a conservative approach to it, but I wonder if they're told. Like I don't know how much say AJ Hinch has in that, or if he just trusts the guys, or.
I know there's a decent amount of speculation because this is the same manager who will not let his coaches talk to the media. AJ Hinch may want a little bit more control over this, and what we think. Now they say the players are free to challenge, but I think they're probably strongly encouraged if you have the lead to maybe not really challenge unless it's like a big situation. But if you're behind, basically if you have the lead, say the challenges for the pitchers. If you're behind, you try to get your advantage. But I don't know. We'll see. I think over the course of the season we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I don't know. I would challenge everything and be wrong every time, I think. So it's not for me.
Yeah, I feel like spring training was maybe their opportunity to do that, and now it's like maybe a little more conservative.
No, we did. The Twins are, I think, lead the league in challenges. They pretty much challenge everything. Yeah. But I know that, like, Hinch has been saying, "Oh, yeah, these guys can pretty much do what they want to do," and I don't know. It's still the jury's still out on that a little bit because even like some of the media guys are like, maybe I don't know about that. So
yeah, but wins. That's all that matters. And that was an exciting
winning
one for sure.
Series.
Yeah, what they said, six straight wins at home.
Yep.
Tigers PR had a field day with stuff today. Like Riley Greene was the 14th player in Tigers history to have 100 doubles before he turned 26. And
wow.
Yeah, we went through and did a trivia on that one just for fun. But it is kind of funny seeing Ty Cobb had like 243.
Oh my goodness.
Different time, yeah.
No, it's a different time. But it's the fact that the Tigers are 8-1 at home.
That helps.
Yeah.
When your home games, we had the one loss to Leahy and the Cardinals, was it?
Yeah, the Cardinals. It was. I think it was that Sunday. Was that Sunday Night Baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, they're both sleeping.
Hi, Earl. Thank you.
My name is Earl.
All right. Well, that's what they have a winning streak. So let's bring. So our segments this year are gonna be a little different. We're not gonna with a shorter show and everything. We're not gonna do the good, the bad, the ugly. But I can't get rid of. This is my favorite segment. It's a segment for now. 8 years now. Yeah, 8 years we super run this in. So let's go in the inside numbers. All right. So, Uper, what is your inside number?
My numbers are 12, 5, and a 4-digit number I can't tell you yet until the end. So the 12 is 12 plus wins. As we know, the Tigers are 10-9. So they are 2 wins away from 12. The next number is 5. As for bottom 5, they're in the bottom 5 in home runs. Okay. Because I've been trying to piece together my opinion right now. This seems like a pre-StatCast, pre-launch angle offense that they're running at the moment. They're just the ball's not flying out of the park yet, unless your name is Dylan Dingler. But they are bottom 5 in homers. The last time they got to 12 or more wins, and we're in the bottom 5 in home runs, can you guess the year?
Oh, wow.
84?
1968?
No. It's even better because it's so shocking. Ashley, do you have a guess?
2006.
No, they hit a lot of home runs in 2006.
You're the closest.
Really?
No, I have no idea.
2003.
Oh no!
Okay.
Oh, worst season's entire history.
That might be a little bit before my time.
Yeah.
That was the worst season in Tigers history.
Yeah.
The second worst season in American League history. Yeah, that's wild. But I was just looking. Yeah, so they don't have many home runs this year. Neither does it's all the teams that they've played. Boston has 12, Miami has 14, Arizona has 15, Kansas City has 15. So something about Tigers. They're unjuicing the balls for the Tigers. That doesn't sound
no
good.
humidor in Detroit.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. Very interesting. Good research.
Thank you. Yeah, there's so many singles, and they're starting to get a few more doubles, but it's just a singles-driven offense right now. It just feels very pre-launch angle. That's all. It's the only term I can put on it right now. It'll probably turn as the weather warms up.
Yeah,
Get them on, get them in, get them over, or get
That's
them
there you
over,
go.
get them in.
There,
Right?
there you go. I mean, you bring up a good point because, for example, Riley Greene's average bat speed 75.8, but his ideal attack angle is very low. It's 43.4. So, yeah, I mean, explain that. I mean, everybody was talking about how slow his bat was, but it's up there. But a deal attack angle it has him ranked among the lower tier. So there's that there. Chris, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just saying, to that double, the big hit in the ninth. Boy, off the bat, I was thinking, oh, that's another one of his grounders to first. I really did. I was really shocked when it got down the line. So that was, but he taps out to first base a lot with what he's doing lately.
Yeah, that seems like it's always, when Riley Greene is struggling, there's a lot of ground balls to second base and first base, and when he's hitting well, there's line drives to the opposite field and then launched home runs to the pull field. So, and he's playing pretty well right now. Like, It is interesting that there's a lot of guys playing fairly well despite not hitting a ton of home runs, right? I mean, McGonigal has one, Keith has none, Torque has none. Does Greene has one?
One, yes.
One, yeah.
I think he has one.
So, yeah, these are, but and Torres, I think, has one. So, my inside the number, you mentioned a little bit, but it's 32. So Dylan Dingler hit his fourth home run today in his 16th game of the season. And so, it's always fun to take early numbers and then extrapolate them, say, oh, he's on pace for this, but it never happens, right? But if it does, Dylan Dingler will have 32 home runs if he plays the same number of games he played last year, 126. And so I was looking it up, and there are 5 catchers. He would just be the 5th catcher in Tigers history. Is playing 75% of their games behind the plate with these fake catchers with 30 home runs in the season. Lance Parrish did it twice. Rudy York did it, and Matt Noakes did it, and then Mickey Telton did it once. So, and there have only been 6 who've hit 20 plus home runs in a season while playing catcher that much. You take the other ones, and you add Freehand, and Jake Rogers did it once. But so yeah, I mean, like. He really is, and Rogers talked about this a bunch. He thinks he's going to hit 25 plus home runs. He's looking awesome on both sides of the field right now, and could be in for a historic season from a Tigers catcher.
All right, Ashley, what about you? Oh, sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I feel like Dingler is continuing because I said last year he was one of the most consistent hitters on the team. I felt like any slump he had didn't really last very long, right? It might be, a couple games, but then he kind of got right back to it. And I feel like he's doing the same thing this year. Like he's just very, very consistent, which is good to see. So I realized last episode that I think I was doing the numbers thing. I mean, like maybe I was a little bit didn't completely understand the concept. So I'll learn from this show and I will do one number next time. But I just wanted to commend Riley for his number. So in the last 6 games, he's 8 for 20 with 6 RBIs, 3 walks, and a home run. And I think we talked about this last episode that his first pitch swing percentage was down and the chase percentage was down. And I said that's kind of what we wanted from him the year before, right? Was kind of this stop chasing. I think he was up there leading the league in strikeouts or somewhere up near there. And that was a big complaint, right? That they wanted him to stop fans wanted him to stop striking out. If you listen to Hinch and Scott Harris in their postseason presser, they said they wanted to stop giving away at bats. And it seems like that's exactly what we saw from Riley. And even though he may have been slumping at the beginning of the season a little bit, like based on what he was doing and based on what the approach seemed like he had changed from last year, I felt like he was going to break out soon, and he did. And I feel like when Riley's hot, he's hot. So I guess, next time I will just do one number, but those were my numbers for Riley.
That's good. Oh, that's good. That's good
fine.
one.
Yeah, it's just an excuse to tell a tiny story, basically. So whatever numbers you need.
Yeah, exactly.
So my insider number this week is 26.3 and 0. And 26.3 is a K rate of Kiter Montero, and the 0 represents the barrel percentage. So, it's as far as like his increase, we were talking about his increase in pitcher usage and what have you. So he's so far, this is again early sample size. He's increased his fastball percentage by 34%. And the sinker, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, is that perceived as a two-seamer, right? Or is that a true sinker?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's those words are kind of used interchangeably. You might argue a little bit semantics about what a two-seamer is versus what a sinker is, but I think Baseball Savant.
I think in the scouting world, it's a little bit different, but like if you're Baseball Savant or like an announcer, two-seam and sinker kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, it was easier for them to split it up into four-seamer and sinker.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the fact that if you're looking at the way, like I was mentioning the sequencing earlier, I just thought the strikeout rate is right above league average. But another number that stands out is also his, as far as like K rate goes, or X batting average is 146. So
not a lot of hard contact.
Yeah, and that's again will be interesting to see how he does in the next series as the offenses continue to face his harder opponents. But still, I mean, Montero's out there doing what he's supposed to do, shoving. So
this guy hates barrels.
Yeah,
he hates barrels more than Donkey Kong.
I was gonna say I was going to go with a Donkey Kong joke. Damn it. Yes.
Well, we need to figure out if Donkey Kong actually hates barrels because he seems to have a lot of them.
A lot of them, you bet.
Anyway,
and Drew Anderson's not going on 975 as of yet. Is that? And that's a nice Martin Lawrence picture from the show.
Oh, is that Martin Lawrence?
Yeah, that's Martin Lawrence right there.
Nice.
I like it.
Yeah.
So we got pop culture from the 90s and also the 80s. So good. I guess Donkey Kong hung around for the 90s with the new video games.
Yeah.
But
you wanted to, so you, as far as like you want to go the MVP of the week, right? Is that what you want?
Well, it was a momentous week. It
Yes.
really was. I mean, you get 2 sweeps at home. You climb out of the doldrums of the slow start. You get the bombshell signing. It was quite a week of Tigers baseball. Baseball got fun again real fast. So I just thought with a lot of good performances, big news. What do you guys think? Who was the MVP of this week? Because it's kind of a tough one to pick this week.
Well, that's a good question.
I'm going to say Riley.
There you go. Well,
Riley for me.
That fits. Okay. I mean, he came up with a huge hit today for sure, and just the overall performance, getting on base, that's good.
I feel like the approach change finally paid off.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Like, not everything's going to work from jump, right? When you start a season, you got to get comfortable again. I kind of like always want to make McGonigal the MVP, but he had a couple different.
I feel the same way.
I think I would go with Montero. I know he's charged with 4 earned runs today, but like I said, he stopped the losing streak with a good start, and he pitched really well today until he was in there. It just feels like one of those things where he wouldn't have gone out there if it were a closer game, or he wouldn't have been out there to give up 2 hits. So I mean, I think he's pitched really well, and did just kind of by chance that he got 2 starts this week, so that gives him MVP odds.
Leg up, you bet. Well, and I think those are both good choices. And I was leaning Montero when it was 6-2 today, no question about it. And but since it slipped out of his fingers and he had to rely on the comeback, I went with Dingler. I really think Dylan Dingler, he's the heart and soul of his club right now. Defensively, he's in on so many plays. He's hitting the ball so well. He's getting good at bats. I just think he's really the heart and soul of the club at the moment, and had a big week and was a big part of this week. And a lot of guys were in contention for it, no question about it. You can look at even Kenley Jansen if you want.
Yeah, I mean, you don't go 6-0 without a lot of guys contributing. Winsel Perez got his first big hit of the year, and that was fun to see. Javi's been playing well. Matt Vierling had been struggling, and they put him in, and he gets on base a bunch of times. And the rest of the pitching, right? Jack Flaherty had a good start. Scoopel.
The cylinders are starting to click. All the cylinders are starting to click together, I feel.
They're playing like a team. They're steamrolling down the freeway right now. So
yeah, they are.
Yeah, I don't know if did Raj have one? Is he
lurking
in the background for MVP of the week? But I'm just by looking at WAR. Now this is the last 6 games, doesn't count today. It was McGonigal, but
it's not surprising.
I think having a whole boatload of walks in a home run at 234 WRC plus that'll do it. But that doesn't count today. So who knows?
You know what I'm finding already? We're a couple weeks in, right? Less than 20 games. When he's on the screen, I never look away.
Me too. That's you drop everything.
Okay, let's watch. It's so exciting. It's kind of like Cabrera used to be for me when he'd be on screen.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Let's see McGee.
This kid is already there.
Yeah. The plate discipline is just impeccable. I mean, we talk about the hit tool, right? But like the plate discipline is just, he knows the strike zone better than probably mostly everybody on the team.
Yeah. I mean, you can make an argument he's already the most gifted hitter. And it's just, sometimes like the really great players, right? They're just there like it just happens. It does seem like what pitchers are trying to do right now is get him to expand inside a little bit because he's got such quick hands. He'll turn on anything. So they're throwing fastballs and sinkers inside, I think, to see if he'll swing at him. And so far he has. It doesn't really matter. Like he's still getting a hit and a walk every game. But I am curious to see if they continue doing that, to see if it has any effect or if it matters. Like I don't know what. Yeah.
I feel like every rookie is going to hit a wall sometime, right? It's going to happen. Every rookie is going to start struggling. It's when the league adjusts to you. You have to adjust back to the league. And if I trust anybody to do that, I trust Kevin McGonigal.
Yeah. Assuming he stays healthy, if we put over under of say 18.5 on home runs for him, what do you got?
Oh, 18.5.
Oh,
I'll go under on that. I think he could very easily top that. I mean, that's a good over under number. Honestly, like I could see either way.
I'll go under.
Yeah.
As well. I think we're going to see more doubles.
Yeah, and I think he will have multiple seasons where he's hitting 20, 25, maybe even 30 a couple times, but just probably not quite yet. And I'll take a bunch of doubles and triples and singles and walks and runs and steals. But McGonigal, best Tigers rookie since Mark Fidrich, says Richard Bosler.
Well,
yeah. I mean,
I think we need more time to tell that, right?
Yeah, I mean I think your point actually is great. Is that throughout history, that there have been, there are times when rookies will come out and have this monster season or monster start, and then everything completely collapses. And we still see it with guys like Pete Crow Armstrong. I don't know if he was technically a rookie last year, but he was awesome in the first half of the season. And then teams figured out like, oh, you know what? You don't have to throw him a strike. Yeah. And he's still a great defender and stuff. But that plate discipline travels, right? Like you could be slumping and missing everything, but that eye, you're still going to walk a couple times a week, and that is valuable. So I do feel like his slumps may be shorter or less severe than what we've seen from guys like even Riley Greene, right? Like Riley Greene will go through these stretches where it's like one walk in 48 strikeouts or something like that.
Well, and I mean, I think tools become skills in high leverage situations. And I don't think, maybe in high A, but I don't think Kevin has seen a high leverage situation necessarily in the big leagues yet. So he has yet to do that. But again, like if I trust anybody to adjust back to the league after they've made their adjustments to him based on scouting reports, based on video, based on this, based on that, it's Kevin. I trust him. He'll be just fine.
And I think it certainly says something that the organization was willing to commit 150 to 160 million dollars to this guy. Like, these are the ones that their jobs are on the line. I mean, I guess they feel pretty
I was
confident.
waiting for it.
Yeah, I think we all were, right? Like and then it became, Raj and I did like a special emergency podcast where we're both at work. And I was in like an office and talking about that, and people want to know about all the different facets of it, like, oh, what's this mean for draft pick compensation and so forth and so on. It's like there are a lot of different sides to it, but ultimately it doesn't matter. You're locking up a potential star, a future franchise icon, maybe. So you do it as soon as you can and you spend whatever it takes to get them.
Yeah. Well, and then I wonder how much because there's been so many rookies that have signed extensions this year, and I wonder how much of that has to do with the impending lockout.
Yeah, no, it has to, right? Like I'm sure that's a little bit of it. And we used to lament when guys like Ronald Acuna would sign a deal that was like so much below what we thought his market value would be. And Ozzy Albies was another great case where it was like, oh man, like you would get 5 times that on the open market. But securing your future and the future for your family is something that I think everybody could relate to, right? Like not everybody has the confidence of Juan Soto to just play it out until you become a free agent and get $700 million.
Yeah.
And I thought, there's a chance that McGonigal is one of those guys, but no, I think when it comes down to it, $150 million and give half of that away to taxes or whatever, $75 million is probably plenty.
Yeah.
So
Deadly Ninja Bees in the comments, how much does one more cost? It's what, 4 to 5? Well, that was last year, so maybe I 5 to 6 this year. Well,
it depends. I think historically it changes every year, and it also depends on one WAR for a reliever is far more expensive than it is for a starting pitcher. But then you'll see the prices of guys like Alex Cobb, right? Last year, what did he get? 15, 16 million?
15.
And that was, he was projected for 2 WAR. You got 0 WAR out of it, but that's kind of like the going rate there. And then once you get these superstar deals that are super long, the value per WAR tends to go down a little bit. At least, well, I shouldn't say that, but somebody will put together like a 7-8 WAR season and they'll get 40 million instead of 64 million or something like that. But that you factor in inflation and prices, all that stuff down the road. But yeah, I don't know.
Looking at a position player. Yeah, I guess I was more so talking about position players. Pitchers are, a different story. And I feel like too, talking about the whole bullpen thing, I think with pitchers, it's a lot easier to make a tweak and boom, they all of a sudden have a really good season, or like boom, they're all of a sudden super effective, than it is with a position player to make a little tweak and have them just go from like 0 to 100. I like it's a lot easier with pitchers.
Yeah. Glad you.
So with the contract he signed, he doesn't make it into double digits for millions per year for 4 years, correct?
It's nothing this year, right? There's the signing bonus, and then 1 next year, and then 7 the year after that. And then does it become 10? That sounds about right.
Yeah. So I just think that locking this contract in doesn't preclude them from doing anything over the next 3 years, right?
No.
I mean, we knew that. But then it also just lengthens everything out payroll-wise. He'll still be very affordable through his prime. This was a no-lose situation for the Tigers, in my opinion. This always boiled down to me, did McGonigal want the deal?
Yeah.
Right? And it really had nothing to do with the Tigers would have been nuts to pass this off, in my opinion. So I was really excited to hear the news. I was walking through Walmart of all places. My phone is blowing up with it. I was like, oh, all right. So I'm standing there in some aisle with kids' clothes or something. I don't know where I was, but it was reading about all that. So that was pretty cool. It really says a lot, I think, for Scott Harris to get, they realize what they have. They realize they had to get it locked down. They kind of did it in stealth fashion. There really weren't any reports that this was looming. There was one report a couple weeks ago that they had initial talks, but that seemed very superfluous stuff. Then all of a sudden, like a thunderbolt, boom, there it was. And that was a big day for the organization. I mean, it's just as big as winning these 6 games in a row, I'll tell you that. And it's going to be real interesting to see, do they believe Max Clark is the next guy to get something like this? Is he, in their mind, someone like Colt Emerson in Seattle, who got the 8 years, $95 million deal before ever setting foot in the major leagues? He still isn't in the major leagues. They say he's close, but he's still not there. Are they going to have 2 players like this? Well, actually 3 with Colt Keith under control moving forward anytime soon? What we do?
Yeah, I think they would like to get Clark to a deal like that, but Clark is a very, very talented player, and he's going to be a good big leaguer, I think. But it is that small difference, right? Like McGonigal has that potential superstar quality about like just being able to perform, and Clark could be an all-star and even better. But I don't know if they have quite that same level of confidence. But if he comes up and looks good, I think they absolutely pursue that with Max Clark too. I mean, this was Scott Harris's first draft. If he wants to build the organization on these guys that he took, it would make sense. It is interesting watching those. Like the Emerson one makes sense. A lot of people consider him one of the best hitters in the minors, other than McGonigal. It was like Emerson, Weatherholt, and McGonigal were the best pure hitters.
Yeah.
The one that kind of shocked me was the Cooper Pratt deal Milwaukee made. I'm not sure if you saw that one.
Yes, I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but I remember that happening.
Yeah, it's not a ton of money, like comparatively speaking, but I think it was in like 30s or 40s. But it's just interesting because he's a good prospect and mostly, but he's a good defender.
Isn't he like their number 6 prospect in a lot of places? Right?
Well, I mean, they have a very good farm system. They got Jesus Made, who's probably going to be number 1 prospect right after this, and he is. And it was just kind of a shocking one because he also, I don't think, has been above AA. So it was like, wow, you're just giving this guy money. So I think to Ashley's point, there does seem to be something going on where these guys are trying to get paid before whatever happens with the labor stuff next year. And hopefully it's not any kind of protracted stoppage like we all want.
And I think organizations have more tools nowadays to, I guess, measure the value of a player, like take their stats and kind of then go under the hood and look at all the peripherals and the approach and all of that while they're in the minor leagues and kind of project what kind of value they're going to have in the big leagues. So I feel like A, clubs are more comfortable doing that now. B, the possible lockout.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how much of a role that plays in it, but I feel like with Max Clark, right? I mean, at his ceiling is going to be a 5-tool player.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as he can come up and hit in the big leagues, which I think he will, I don't see why they wouldn't do the same thing.
Yeah, and one of the things that has become kind of funny is that because of McGonigal being so advanced and so so good, so quickly,
polished, yeah.
It is. We forget that Max Clark is still among the very youngest players in AAA, and performing at a very high level for such a young player. It's just like one of those things of perspective. If McGonigal did not exist, Tigers fans would be gaga for Max Clark.
We'll be clamoring for him.
Yeah, a lot of them are anyway, right? We certainly saw that. I think when Parker Meadows got hurt, unfortunately, again, everybody's like, "Oh, bring up Max Clark." We know the organization is not quite ready to do that.
They weren't going to do that.
We will see him this year if he stays healthy. We'll see Max Clark this year for sure. Yeah, I mean that's fun, and if they can sign him to a deal, maybe we'll see him then. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. It is interesting, that they. I had heard that they approached Riley Greene about an extension before last year, but never heard anything beyond that. And you're getting to the point now where it's like they're, if you're Riley Greene, you might as well just wait till free agency, unless you really love it here. If I'm the Tigers, I thought about this a bunch. This is like, for as good as Riley Greene is, I do worry a little bit about, is that the player you extend, right? That he's a corner defender already. He's 25, but runs like me. It's I don't know. It's a tough one. He's a great hitter,
He
No doubt.
look, he ran really fast today. We'll give him that.
Well,
I've never
I do
seen
think
him charge like that.
he used to be, up until last year, he was still a pretty good runner. It just always looked funny, and then last year it really kind of tapered off pretty hard. And I don't know if that was injury or what, but yeah, it's a little bit scary.
Man, when that ball was heading out, it was going right at Caglione, who has that rocket. And I was thinking, oh man, is Riley going to make it? Because I had been thinking it's too bad McKinstry was banged up, or he probably would have pinch run there if he was still available, if they hadn't already used him somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because it would have been great to have a faster runner, but he made it by plenty, so it was a lot of worry about nothing. But the way Caglione throws, I had my concerns there.
Yeah, it was like, who knew this guy who threw 100 in college might be a pretty good outfield thrower.
Yeah, but that throw he had from right, going away from him and throwing it 98 miles an hour, that was just like absurd. Yeah. Absurd.
No, that guy's he's an exciting athlete. He's going to be, he had that horrible start last year. Okay, that's fine. But I think give him more time. He's going to be quite the player for the Royals for a long time.
I like what Tyler said here, though. I think it's slightly telling about the team's direction that Torkelson and Greene haven't been extended yet.
Yeah, and like to your point, like it's often it's up to the player, right? If they don't want to do it, then you're not going to force them, right? And one thing, the last thing I'll say about the McGonigal extension, and I mentioned this on the little thing we did with Raj, is that even in the worst case scenario is he gets hurt and never plays or whatever, but like he's a good player, but the Tigers kind of fall apart 5-6 years down the road. He becomes a super valuable trade chip, right? Because he's in his prime and he's got a very like market friendly deal. So there's no reason for the Tigers not to do this.
No question.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
I agree.
There's a time and a place where we've come from a time and a place where this wasn't even thinkable that the Tigers have had a young player like that. And I think it was, let's go back in here. Yeah. Richard's been around for a while. He says it was like Mike Fidrich hype from his first start. Yeah, Uber was around then. I was not around then, and it certainly was not Ashley either. So, but here's the thing, like, and then I think we'll end the podcast with this. If Kevin McGonigal, if you look at, if we didn't have the StatCast data, if we didn't have what pitches he was getting, then you can go and say, you could be like, well, the league hasn't adjusted to him yet. But there is information there that shows that no matter what you pitch him, he's going to hit it. And that's why the Tigers gave him the extension they did. They had, like, these guys, look, the data they have, even like with swing access and everything, stuff that we don't even have publicly available, they probably saw that and went, all right, we'll consider ourselves sold. And I also am convinced, and I put this out there, remember in Goodfellas when Paulie, the scene where Paulie's talking, he doesn't talk to anybody and they just go like this, they nod their heads. You know what I'm talking about, Ashley, at all? Have you seen Goodfellas? No? Okay. All right.
If you are wondering if I've ever seen anything, the answer is probably no.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. But you've seen Goodfellas, right?
Yes.
You know the part where Paulie's in the backyard and they're like, and that's why, and he says how he doesn't talk to anybody.
He never gets on a phone ever.
Right? Yeah, he gets on the phone. He's sitting in the backyard like that. That's how the Tigers front office was with this, like the way they've handled the extensions, and nobody knows about it.
Yeah,
and it's just like it's guy here just going. Just get it done. Like it's, I've never like it. Usually by now it's somebody leaking it out. That is an ironclad front office right now, and they looked at it and like just get it done. And
so that's the Torkelson extension. He just went.
No. It was like this. He was in the backyard somewhere eating a veg because I think Sky Harris is a vegetarian. He was eating some sandwich like this, eating like this, going. No, he's like this, like no. He spits it out. He's like, no, we're talking about Torkelson extension. No, it's yeah.
The listener here brought him up. That's the only reason I brought Torkelson. I think the chances there. And again, last year, recall, I said I was the last man standing on Torkelson Island. I was there. I'm with Spencer all the way. But I would be stunned if he doesn't go to free agency during his year.
Yeah, I would.
When it comes up, do they bring him back for a year? If there's nothing out there for him, great. But that would be the only way.
So career wise, just looking at Torque, and I mean he's only been here since 2022, but career wise, his average is a 226, right? Which if you're looking at like the scouting scale, that's like between a 40 and a 45 bat. And for a position like a first baseman, the bat is your number one priority, right? So I feel like if he doesn't make the necessary changes to the approach, I mean, yes, we could use the power, but if he's going to be just a power hitter who's not hitting for average and is hovering around that 40-45 bat, like, is that really somebody you want to extend? I mean, I like Torque, don't get me wrong. But just kind of thinking about it from a scouting perspective, you probably are looking at least a 50, if not like a 55 or 60 bat from your first baseman, considering that's the most important tool.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so hard to be a valuable first baseman at the big league level. You basically have to like have 120, 125 WRC plus just to be an average first baseman. If you want to be a valuable one, it's like 130 to 150. You got to be Freddie Freeman or Pete Alonso. And it's, I mean, he just hasn't been a consistent power hitter. It's been up and down for the last 4 years. Who knows? Maybe
when it's looking,
he's getting on base this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like between him and Torque, like with that first pitch swing percentage and then the whole chase, the way it's changed from last year to this year, it looks like they're kind of trying to make a change. So I'm just wondering, what that longevity is going to look like, if it's going to kind of continue down that path, if it's going to work for him, or if he's going to kind of go back to, the hitter he was when he first got here. Which was not bad, but again, I would like to see a first baseman hitting for average, not just power.
Oh, I mean, Tyler brings up a good point here. He's the lowest chase rate in the league right now per baseball savant. So, I mean, he is seeing the ball better.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. But again, yes, if you're a first baseman, you got to hit for power too. You can't just be Tony Phillips, or I don't know, whoever the modern equivalent of doesn't swing and just takes walks. But yeah, so it's 6-game winning streak, 4 games in Boston, concluding with the Boston Marathon game, which is always interesting.
Yeah.
That game starts at like 11 a.m.
Yeah, that's 11 o'clock
Eastern
start.
time, yeah.
So you got Mize and Suarez tomorrow on Apple TV, and then Scooble and Bello, Saturday, and then Valdez and would it be Crochet?
Yeah, I think it's Crochet. Yeah, it's gonna be a good matchup.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that'll be interesting considering what happened for Crochet last time
God.
in
Minnesota. Dude, I can't believe the Twins
single-handedly stuck a knife in my fantasy team with that stuff.
Yeah.
I would feel sorry for you, but I don't. Yeah. That's sorry to hear. But thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching this evening. And we'll be back on Monday for the Motor City or the Tiger Minor League Report podcast. And yeah, there's going to be, for those who are Patreon folks, there's going to be a on-field or on-lot or at the field report coming up from Erie tomorrow and getting the game on Saturday. So for those, we'll look forward to seeing what's out there in Erie. I know it's a little grim right now, but like I said, all in due time. But there's some really good, interesting prospects out there regardless. I mean, we get to see Pex. I would say, and but
they had a nice comeback tonight, or attempted comeback. I missed most of the highlights, but I can go back and get them. Yeah,
RJ, I did get the EJ Exposito single, so that's a fun name. Giancarlo Esposito.
He's got the name of a former team in his last name, and we need to go figure out how many other players can say that.
Yeah. So stay close, everybody. We'll be back next week. Ashley, thank you so much for joining us again. And
thank you for having me.
Yeah, there's the by the way, speaking of Ashley, there's 2 scouting reports. The rest of the scouting reports will be up this weekend. You can find the ones you did post, and I'm trying to blank right now what they Joe Miller and Simone, I believe you posted.
Joe.
I don't remember which ones I posted, but I did Joe Miller, Caleb Blaze, Kale Witwiska, Johan Simone, and Nick Doomsnell.
Yeah. It looks like Miller and Lees are up.
Yeah, Miller. And
okay, I was gonna say I don't remember which ones I posted.
Yeah, so those are and I got to put the rest of those up this weekend. Like I said, life's been insanely busy, but also the Salcedo interview is almost done. I just, like I said, I had jury duty today. I did not get picked for jury duty, but I watched 2 people almost get in a fight today. It was awesome because these people, one woman, I'm serious, real quick. This woman was complaining because some of the people were doing theatrics to get out of jury duty, and the woman in front of me was like, "It's a duty. You take it seriously." And she was yelling to the lady behind me, and the sheriff, Wayne County Sheriff's like, "Shh, calm down." And then when everybody didn't get picked, like they're like, you can leave for the day. Everybody, all the back row, myself included, was like, "Yes." And everybody just the judge looked at us, and he's got this perfect mullet. He's got a mullet going, I kid you not. And they're all looking like, "Shh," and we just walked out all like, it was awesome. It was
when you're done, you have to give us the tea. Like
yeah,
if it's juicy, we need the tea.
Oh yeah, there's more to it. But yeah, I don't want any Wayne County sheriffs looking at this going, "This mother." But yeah.
Well, you talk about it after, not
we'll
now.
talk about it. Yeah,
it's a duty. It should be. It's a duty.
Yeah, it's a duty.
ED, mega doo-doo.
All right, we're out. Have a good night.